Last episode in Manseille. Manseille kept on growing, with bigger and bigger buildings being built. Notably, in 1857, Manseille got an art museum paid for by Mr. Treefella. This episode in Manseille. Hello, bonjour, and welcome back to City Skylines to Manseille, where today I'm gonna work on a bunch of new projects. First of all, I'm gonna work on this park over here. I'm gonna work on the quay along the canal because this grass field looks a little bit weird. Then I'm also gonna work on this island over here, and if there still is time, I'm gonna work on the area over here. But let's start today by working on a park. First thing I'm gonna do is add a bridge. You might think a bridge, that's a little bit weird, but I'm not gonna actually add the bridge. I'm just gonna add this entrance to a bridge in Prague as the entrance for the park. And you might want to know why I'm using such a luxurious entrance to a park. Well, that's because I want this park to be luxurious. We have all these rich houses over here, and I think it would be nice to have a little bit of a fancy park for the rich people to visit. Let's first get some walls to complement this entrance. Let's start by placing these corner pieces, and then using the prop line tool, let's enable prop anarchy, and then let's build, also enable fence mode. Then finally I can build this wall. And I think I'll want to move all of this a little bit closer to the roads. I think that would look better. This one too, of course, close to the roads. Let's not waste any space. And on the other side too. And of course, along here, let's add this as an end piece for the roads, like that, and then some shrubberies. Remove the ones that are clipping the roads, some tiny bushes, one big bush over here, because why not? Okay. Now I do want to make this a functional park, so I will need a park entrance. And I think I'm gonna actually use these paths, even though they look a little bit modern. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this park. Let's make a hedge maze. I can pronounce stuff. Hedges, this one. And then let's put it in the center of the park as a centerpiece. Let's have an entrance and an exit. That is a hedge maze. And then I'll add some gravel paths throughout this maze so people can actually traverse it. And then I'll just paint the rest of the maze with the surface painter to gravel. You could technically also use gravel paths for this and then have points of interest, that's the dead ends of the maze. I did it too in my previous city series, Port William, in the very beginning of the series somewhere, but I don't think it's necessary for this very tiny maze. I don't think there's any room for it either, so we'll do without. like that. And we'll call it the Royal Park de Saint Denis Chester. A terrible name, but it will do. I'll also add some attractions in the park, so people will actually visit it. For example, a gazebo. Oh yes, a birdhouse. It actually looks like something that could exist in 1860, so that's perfectly fine with me. Let's make this a very tiny bit of zoo. Nothing too grand, of course. No flamingos. Would this building look okay? It actually would. Okay. Yeah. We have a very tiny zoo in here for the rich people to visit. Let's bump up the price. No fireworks. And no animal ethics. No, these animals will be in tiny cages and be very sad because it's 1860 and people didn't really care about animals yet. Poor creatures. Let's add some trees along there, and let's also add a little flower garden in this section. For that I will add some fences around the area, some very tiny fences that people can see over. Do I have something like picket fences? Those are too high, I think. No, definitely not. No, too crickety, too high. No, too much wood. Oh, no, definitely not. Okay, I guess I can work with props. Oh, that's a little bit too wonky. Okay, now I want to add some flowery things. I don't know what exactly. I don't have a lot of choice, so let's add some bushes along the edge. Every 3 meters, yes. Something like that. Maybe some flowery trees every 16 meters. Over here. And maybe some kind of maybe a tiny water feature over here. Do I have fountain? Perfect. Maybe a few trees along here behind the flowery trees. That could perfectly work. And maybe some trees. Okay, not those are too big. Some small trees. That's a pretty good park. I like it. Now let's work on the canal side. Let's build some what are they called? Towpaths. Towpaths. Let's build some towpaths. So these were paths that we used for the horses to pull along barges through these canals to transport goods throughout cities. And I think those are pretty nice to add as a little bit of a detail. And for them I can use these coastal paths, no fence, plain 3 meters. Well, that was already a gigantic success because they're floating, and not entirely what I had in mind. Now let's build you all the way to here, I guess. But actually to here. Move you down to there. Oh, it's already done. I don't actually think they would be necessary for this type of canal because there's already some sort of path down here. Probably wouldn't actually use this path, instead just walk along this. I don't know, I'm not an expert. I have very little knowledge about towpaths. I'm not an expert, so take everything I just said with a little grain of salt. Okay, I probably also want to clean this curve a little bit, and I'm not going to use that. Instead, I'm going to use just a path, turn off snapping, like that, and like that. Now I want the biggest tree I have, the leafy tree. I believe this is the biggest tree, or is leafy tree? No, this is the... yeah, this is the biggest tree I have. And I want to add this one along the canal every 27 meters. Very, very simple, but up close it does look great, like this. I don't know what it is, but I really like this part of the city already, with the canal and the buildings. These buildings look amazing. I can't wait to build the buildings on the other side of the canal. Okay, now for this island. I said I wanted to do something with it. This island has been unused for a very long time, and I think it's time to add some uses for it. Let's remove the trees first of all, and then I probably want to add some roads. What do I want to do with this? Maybe I can build some big building on this. Would it look good if I had a building like this on here? No, it looks a little bit out of place, probably. Do I want to build a big building on here, like a mansion? Do I want to add some rich houses? Do I want to add just some regular houses? I don't really know. The other side of the canal has pretty regular houses. It was one of the first neighborhoods I built. This was where the city started over here. So I feel like if I built some very big houses over here, it would be a little bit out of place, because these are very tiny village houses, and then some big building over here that wouldn't work. So I think I'm just gonna add some regular houses on this side, and then do the same as I did here. So as you move to this side of the island, on this side, the buildings will be a little bit higher density. Not high density, medium density. I think that is what I'm gonna do. So let's first add the roads. Then I'm gonna work with alleyways. And I think I want to put them as close as possible to the quay sides. So for that, I probably should just use move it. Like this. If you're curious as to why I build an additional road and then immediately remove it, that is because I want to add this additional node over here, and that way I can modify with move it more precisely. Now I can remove the weird dirt along the canal with invisible terraforming networks that I just copy and paste along the edge. And you can see, if I zoom in, you can see that the dirt disappears. Bam! And the dirt is gone. Let's add a few additional roads, mostly just because I want to make sure there's enough coverage for all the surfaces here. Do I want to add a tiny park over here? Yes, I do. It will not be nothing big. Maybe I can just use a standard park from here. A little plaza? I think that can work. It almost fits perfectly if I just look for the tiles. It's a bit wonky, but you know what? I'm sure that in 1800 they still built wonky plazas. Now let's add some buildings in a snap. And for the final house, or space, I must say, let's do a little bit something different and add luxurious house over here along the river. We'll add some walls, same walls as I used for the park earlier. We'll add a driveway made out of gravel. We'll add some gravel decals. The smaller, oh, this is a small one. Oh, sure. And we'll add a car. It's a little bit modern, adding a car. Maybe you can add a carriage. That would work too. Some lovely view of the other sides, including the ugly industry over there, but that doesn't matter. Let's also add a fountain in the front yards to really show the exuberant wealth to be able to buy something like this, and will even be very nice and give them a special name, the McLeod Manor driveway. This will be the McLeod Manor. And this island will be called the Terrace. Terrible French-British name. So perfect for what I want to do. I'll just add it to the old Manseille district. Or no, I think it should probably be part of the district over here, which I should then give a name. Northeast. Is that how you spell north in French? It's actually how you spell it. Wow, all those years of studying French did pay off because I knew how to spell north in French. Sure, that's a terrible name, but I like terrible names. Do I still have time to work on this district over here? Yes, I definitely do. So let's do that too. I want to add a park over here and have some more rich houses over here and then some regular houses behind here. And under this bridge I want to add a railway that goes this way, and over here will be an industrial district, and over here will be some very poor houses. That's the plan. I made some beautiful sketches to plan out a little bit of what I want to do. I'll probably put them on screen right now. First of all, let's just build the roads in this district. That's probably the very first thing I want to do. No, let's actually start by planning the railway, so I know how much space there is between the canal and the railway. Some sort of brick wall over here. Let's go for this one. I like this one. Move it closer to here. Move this to level 4. Have a bridge over here. I probably should have something that looks like the arches over there, right? Ah, this one. This isn't gonna work if I do it like this. I could, of course, do something special by adding a note over here, just a middle note, and removing this section of roads. And then I can add an alleyway in both directions, preferably. Move it close to here. Of course, it's hailing outside, so I hope the microphone doesn't pick that up too much. Otherwise, I might have. Wonderful. Okay, finally the hail has subsided, so I can continue recording this episode. Let's start by, again, what was I doing? It has been an hour. That one, move it right. And now with note controller, something like this, and then I can add some pathways that go through the other tunnels. Something like that. For now I will leave it at that. Let's maybe add an excavator at the end. A crane. I think this one will do. A temporary construction prop. Maybe I can just use some gravel paths on either side, and of course I want to make sure this is still called Avenue de Paris. And now let's fill in this space. I probably have an avenue along here, so I can add some level crossings, because most of the traffic will use this. Only local traffic will use the level crossing, so that won't be too big of a problem if I do it like that. Let's do it over here. Let's actually use a road with trees. And before I continue, let's also lay this down the second one. And the second one will go straight over there towards a different industrial district. Now let's add the roads over here. And I believe I do have this over here, and I can copy this to here, make it less sharp. Perfect, and then with this brush I can fix it over here, and here it's just a crack in the pavement, so that's fine. Now I wanted to make this a smooth turn. Now let's remove them from here and make this entire section a park. First of all, let's add some lovely big houses over here. That's a little bit too big. That one is too big, sadly. This poor bloke has a railway line right next to his mansion. I don't know. I don't think so. Let's remove that again. Service buildings. I can put a service building over here. Why did I completely forget about service buildings? Like a clinic. Yes. Clinic and a fire station. Well, the other clinic. And it is just saving, of course. Come on. Yes. The clinic without parking in front of it. Put it over here. And the fire station over here. Perfect. Pathway. I'll add some trees behind here. And let's add a fence around the railway to prevent unfortunate accidents. Fine. And maybe I can also just add a path behind here. Behind here. To here. So people can walk along the water between the railway and the canal. Now, just like I did on the other side, I will add some gardens with the help of these hatches. This one will have some trees on that side. This one will have some cobblestone tiles in his backyard. So along this, this was the European high school or secondary school. It also has some horses on the sidewalk. I guess that's fine. I can't do anything about it. Let's add some more buildings. Something like that. Not high density, not low density, medium density. Then I'll add some actual park area. Over here I should add a park entrance. I should go to the right tab for that, of course. We'll add a side entrance over here. And one over here. Add some sad excuses for a fence on either side of the field, and probably also here at the back. I can use these as a place for the audience to sit. They're actually stairs, but who cares? A little stand. A few vendors. Add a gazebo. I always forget the word for these things. Do I have some more fields of some sort? Cauliflower fields and wheat fields, but nothing like a sport field. I'll just add a second football field. Add some more fake seating over here. Add some trees along here to prevent noise from going everywhere. Fill this space with trees. Maybe I'll add a hedge. Behind there are the gardens of the people living there. The tiny gardens. We'll put some trees in there. And let's add a little pond over here. Maybe add a little bit of an island in the middle of this one. Maybe in winter people can go ice skating over here. Now all that's left to do is add the remaining buildings over here, and then I'll end the episode for today. And there it is, a bunch of new homes over here, some luxurious mansions to complement the mansions on this side of the road, a lovely new park with a bunch of football fields, so we can have some sport in the city. I built a a lovely luxurious park over here for the rich people to enjoy, including some animal cages for birds and for amphibians who probably don't live in the best of conditions, but let's just move on. A towpath, so barges can be pulled along the canal, and a bunch of trees, so it all looks very nice over here. And this island has been finally filled. I do notice that this is not entirely correct. I don't know how that happened. I must have accidentally moved it at some point. A lovely mansion over there, and I think that will be the end of the episode. Next episode, look forward to the discovery of coal in Manseille and to the construction of a brand new neighborhood, namely the terribly bad neighborhood for the factory workers, full of terrible living conditions. Yes, look forward to terrible living conditions. I hope you have enjoyed it, and ta-da!